Genetically modified plants are defined as plant crops that have been genetically altered using molecular biological techniques. In simpler terms, it is when a specific gene is taken from one organism and inserted into a plant.
Since new genes are introduced into the plant, the transgenic plant or genetically modified plant will have new traits which could be used in many fields. For example, agriculture, genetically modified plants could withstand hard conditions, pests, herbicides, which are chemicals that destroy weeds, and develop resistance to viral infections. Also, genetically modified plants will grow bigger and healthier. Another field is medicine. Genetically modified plants could be used to produce new drugs, vaccines, insulin, and reduce their cost and increase availability. Also, genetically modified plants could decrease hunger rates all over the world.
Welcome back to another episode of Plant Genetics with Tony L., Daniel S., and Rochelle P.
Today we'll be talking about genetically modified plants and addressing 3 plant issues. But first, a message from our sponsor.
Have you ever lost someone to cancer? I have. And to make sure it never happens again, try our new product, the cancer-fighting broccoli. Our special development team at the Broccoli Institution created this fine product just yesterday. Here to witness his extreme power, here's Tony L. Eating a Sorry about that, guys. It just tastes bad. But it works.
Are you okay, my brother? You okay? Get up. Oh my god! Oh my god, my cancer's gone! I feel so much better!
Precious sweetheart, she's so faithful, she's so true. Oh yeah, a dream by time.
Welcome back, guys. We are just receiving a call from Tony G., a gardener from Alberta.
My corn field is having a major drought. What should I do?
Let's move to Daniel, our on-site scientist, who will now further investigate the problem.
Okay, so the problem is that the plant is leaking the water, and to solve this problem, you can extract the gene from the cactus and insert it into the gene of corn. This will reduce the transpiration rates and decrease the water leaking from the plant. Okay, so here's how it's done in more detail.
Most genetically modified plants are modified using 2 techniques. The first method is biolistic method, which uses a specialized particle gun. First, DNA is extracted from the plant we want. DNA is mounted to tiny particles of gold or tungsten, which are then shot into the plant tissue or single plant cell under high pressure. The particles penetrate both through the cell wall and membranes. The DNA separates from the metal and it is integrated into the plant genome inside the nucleus.
Okay, so before we move on, we'd like to talk more about the advantages of genetically modified plants. Plants that have been genetically modified can be tastier, better looking, and more herbicide resistant than regular plants. Also, genetically modified plants will have longer lasting freshness and possibly more health benefits.
Proof of this can be seen in our everyday lives, as about 60 to 70% of all food on grocery store shelves are made of ingredients taken from genetically modified plants. A major plus to genetically modified plants is that the breeder can choose specific characteristics they need in a plant. These characteristics can be taken from any other organism, such as insects, animals, or other plants.
However, with all the advantages, there is still controversy. Many people argue that the plants are freaks of nature and that modified plants are not safe for consumption. However, there hasn't been much proof over the recent years to support these claims of negativity as compared to the overwhelming positive support for them.
Hey guys, I grow tomatoes on my farm, but every year these flea beetles eat my tomatoes. What can I do?
The issue here is that you can't spray the crops with pesticide without affecting them. Again, we move to Daniel in the field for more info.
Farmer Henry can spray his tomatoes with pesticides, but only after they have been modified. This involves taking a gene from a plant who has a high tolerance for pesticides and injecting them into the tomato plant. After this, you can safely spray your tomatoes with pesticides without harming them. So here how it's done in more detail.
Another method is using bacteria as a vector. Agrobacteria are plant parasites, and scientists use their ability to transfer genes in creating genetically modified plants. Scientists first remove one adult plant cell from the plant, then they take out the bacterium's plasmid and inject new gene into the plasmid. After that, they introduce the recombined plasmid back into the bacterium. When the modified bacterium infects one plant cell, it injects the recombined plasmid into the plant cell chromosomes. After that, transgenic cell is developed in a fully grown transgenic plant in laboratory. This method works on dicots like potatoes, tomatoes, tobacco, soybean, walnut, and apple.
I like roses, but I don't like red. Because red is girly, and I like blue, because I'm wearing blue. So I want blue roses. You think you can help me, sir? Thank you.
The answer to that is simple. A gene with the desired blue pigment must be obtained from a gene, for example, the iris of humans, and inserted into a regular rose. This will help in breeding the blue roses in the future.
Okay, before we finish, we'd like to leave you with a few interesting facts about genetically modified plants.
Okay, here are some interesting facts. Some examples of GM plants include canola, blue roses, cancer-fighting broccoli, and tomatoes that don't go mushy as they ripen. Two main advantages of genetic engineering plants are farmers can choose specific traits they want and can also take genes from unrelated species, such as animals, insects, and microorganisms. Did you know that 60 to 70% of all grocery shelf products are results of genetically altered plant ingredients? In a canola case, some of the pesticide-resistant gene got into the nearby weeds through cross-pollination, producing pesticide-resistant superweeds. GM plants provide cold tolerance, drought tolerance, and better nutrition depending on what genes are used. Hi sir, what do you think about the concept of eating genetically modified plants?
I think it's very healthy, but unnatural. Because it's not natural, because it's man-made.
Do you think there are some other adverse health effects?
No. Maybe. What does adverse mean? Okay, I don't...
Hi sir, how are you doing?
Hello.
I would just like to take a minute to ask you a question. What do you think about the concept of eating genetically modified plants?
Well, I think that genetically modified plants are healthy and give positive effects to our bodies.
So, you don't think there are some adverse effects?
Oh, no. I'm sure that the adverse effects or the bad genes may have been weeded out, and all the positive effects have stayed.
Okay, so what do you think about genetically modified plants? Do you like eating them?
I love them. I've been eating them forever and nothing bad has ever happened.
So do you think there are any negative side effects at all?
No, I don't think there's any bad side effects, and I don't think anyone has any major side effects.
Thank you for your time.
Hi sir. I would just like
stuff is nasty. You don't eat that stuff. That stuff is like taking, it's just a freak of nature.
Hi, I'm the interviewer here, and as you can see from those interviews we just conducted, it seems that some people like genetically modified plants and think that they're healthy to consume, while some people detest them, and some people just don't know. So there's a huge controversy surrounding this topic, and there's mixed perceptions. Many people don't have full understandings.
And that brings us to the end of our show. I hope you have enjoyed learning about genetically modified plants, and I hope to see you next week.
Go.
This is my favorite tip.
You can't handle some Vishal paddle?
Miss, what are you so bad? You miss, so